down, eh?
I ain't done with you yet. And remember, you guys are next.
Stay down!
Yeah, stay down!
Stay down! Yoo-hoo! Hello, loyal subject. We strongly recommend you stay down.
Good afternoon, I'm the Expert Layman, and this is Grinding Meeting number 28, Warsong Gulch, Futility, and Delusional Nobility. I've spent a lot of time in Warsong Gulch. A lot in vanilla. Mostly on my hunter. And there's this weird phenomenon where... Let me just check my stream real quick here. Yep. Where it is so obviously futile, but people will just keep going. You'll be up against a pre-made. They're all in gladiator gear. You have no healers. You have nobody even in, or hardly anybody even in PvP gear. Like, any one of them could demolish any two of you. And like, come on guys, let's do this. It's like, it's not nobility. At some point, it's masochism. I almost titled this The Psychology of Lemmings, but there's a few more things I wanted to get into. And I wasn't sure if I was going to make this a grinding meeting stream or just like a regular gaming stream, but I think there's enough crossover because it is kind of fascinating. Especially when, like, everybody knows that, like, it's the most basic, even, you know, primates, you know, chimpanzees, gorillas, stuff, when they can't count, but they can take an assessment of how many of them there are and how many of you there are. And people instinctively, or at least they should instinctively know, hey, if there's like more of them than you, maybe don't run in. But people will do this thing where they res and they just run out. And it's like, dude, there was one of you and there's 4 guys out there and you just charged the first guy. How did you expect that to go? And that's when you're up, you know, relatively even teams. I'm going to go ahead and queue in here. And who knows, maybe and it is easy to become frustrated because basically you're in a pre-made or you lose. And that's the current state, and it's kind of been that way for a while. Although there were a lot more people like random queuing, and you can't, you know, you technically can't join as a raid, but if everybody just queues in at the same time, most of you will end up in the same game. And then just roll the other team. So pretty much the only time you win solo queuing is when you are one of those lucky people that gets grouped up with you're one of the out people from the pre-made. Oh, great, I gotta play as Alliance. That's the other thing, they could totally... They have all the tools they need to fix this thing. I mean, if you can have Horde playing Horde, so that, you know, you reduce queue times, and Alliance playing Alliance. It seems like it would be relatively simple to just, at the end of every game, you keep a log, you know, the server keeps a log of what your highest resiliency rating was that game, and then in future matchmakings, they just balance out the resilience between the two teams. And It might add a little time to matchmaking, but I think just not getting rolled every time, people wouldn't mind a slightly longer wait. And since you can have Alliance playing Alliance and Horde playing Horde, the premates could, you just have the premates play each other. You know, you could even remove the restriction that you can't queue in as a raid. But doesn't seem to be much interest in doing that on Blizzard's part. And you could say, well, you know, purist, like, well, that wasn't part of, you know, vanilla. It's like, well, getting a dwarf face mask and having to play from the Alliance side wasn't part of it either, so I don't think that's that's a legitimate grievance. And who knows, maybe I will get a decent, let's see. Well, it does, it might not, if it's a pre-made, it's not a, you know, it's not a big pre-made. In other words, you know, when you see 8 of the same, from the same server, you know you're screwed. But it is mixed up a little bit. But if you compare that to the Horde, wow, I might actually be on a pre-made. I'm seeing a lot of glowy weapons. And the other weird thing is, when people are just running in and dying over and over again, they get mad at the people who aren't doing it. It's like, I'm gonna wait up here at the graveyard, and if you guys decide to, like, form a group to oppose that other group, I'm with you. One nice thing about being a rogue, things go sideways, you get the hell out. Oh my god. Where is the healer? There he is. Well, I have to say, this is going better than the beginning of most battles. Maybe I am on the pre-made. Oops, accidentally used my willed for a second. That wasn't too bright. Right. A group should be forming up. There's our flag. Come on. Oh, I hit the wrong freaking button. I meant to sap him. Why? Boy, there's a lot of them here. Normally I wouldn't jump into the fray like this, but you gotta support the flag. I was pretty sure I was gonna die, but until it's demonstrated that people are just running in to die, you gotta play strategically. And sometimes death is strategic. It's so hard to get used to, like, oh, that's our flag being run back. Yeah, maybe I should have put that details ability thing someplace else. I think he's already blown his bubble. Oh, there it is. Wow. Yeah, that's a pre-made. Jesus Christ. And I got like 160 resilience and 9,000 health. Yeah, let the farming begin. The amazing thing is, like, when there's a huge disparity between the teams, like the team that could win pretty much whenever they wanted will choose not to, and then just farm people. And sometimes it gets really, really overt, like I was talking about earlier, people just running in to die over and over again. But it really only takes a small cluster of people that are super geared to make the difference, and especially if you have like heals. That was not what I meant to do. Maybe my rogue friend and I. Dude, you're gonna get jumped, but screw it. See if we can get like one kill here. Wait for that last tick, and then I can... Yeah, always change directions after stealthing or vanishing. Well, at least they're not going to just run up and farm the honor. Like, whenever I see a cluster of people, it's like, okay, go to the cluster. Because people just don't want to group up. They're like, "Rawr, can do it on my own." Like, no, you can't. Yes. I set up a twink for my daughter during vanilla. And she had a warlock, and it had a bunch of shadow damage, a lot of health. And I just gave her a very simple strategy. So it's stay with the group. Is paramount. Beyond that, you fear, or you dot, you fear, you run away. And she'd be playing, and I'd be not paying attention for a little while, and she didn't pay attention to chat. Didn't care about it at all. And people would be all ticked off, like sending her all these messages, like, "You suck, you stupid twink, like, you ruined this game." And she's like, what, 9 or 10? Completely oblivious, just going around doing her thing. Game finishes, she's like, you know, top damage, top honorable kills. Well, I suppose I'll go in. This is where the action seems to be happening. The ass ravager. Nice. Are they upstairs? No, they're over here. Yeah, we're just getting crushed here. We're getting more kills. So what's mostly likely happening is people will just come in and not even try to do the strategy thing. Like the last game I played last night, I was trying to do the strategy thing, and I was at the bottom for honorable kills. And I said, screw it, I'm just going to go ahead and mid and farm honor like everybody else. And by the end of it, I was top honorable kills. But I got badges. You would think, you know, if it was your game and you saw something just going unbelievably one-sided, like, all the time, you'd be like, you know, maybe we should address something about that. And I was like, before Alterac Valley, where the Horde had to run like, started like a quarter mile further back than the Alliance, and like, what? I do remember that when a friend at work, he'd said, he'd bought like the wrong ring. And he's like, oh, I'm not even gonna mess with this. Like, dude, fill in a ticket. He's like, I don't want to go through that. It's like, he's like, well, you want to do it for me? I'm like, okay. So I logged into his account and did that. And it's like, I had to go into Alterac Valley once and just start, like, and it's like, oh my God. The strategic benefit is all on one side. It's like, okay, their base at the end of a long bridge with like 150-yard, snipers sitting on towers. That's theirs. Ours, middle of an open field. And yeah, we sort of have a fake wall, but there's like, you can jump over it at spots. Like, it was so utterly designed one side, and it's hard to believe. So the idea that, Blizzard has any interest in trying to keep things fair between factions. I had opinion for a long time that the only reason Horde exists is so that, Alliance could have somebody to beat up on when they're tired of beating up on NPCs. And it did seem kind of designed that way. And it was almost an admission that, they had messed up when they moved the Horde starting point up like, a quarter mile or whatever the distance was. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, I'm Alliance. What am I thinking? White Marine. Who knows? Gotta be optimistic. That's the thing. You can be an optimist, but still accept futility. A lot of people just come in here because they want to be angry about stuff. So you have like 5 people all suffering from the everybody's an idiot but me complex. Oh my God. I don't like going with just 2 people. This seems dangerous. And nope, nobody else is coming. And this is a rogue. We are not good flag carriers. And he is not significantly better geared than me. This seems like a bad plan, but better to... I'm not picking it up. Nobody else. I tend to use the mouse a lot more than Battleground, just because you need to have your head on a swivel. Yeah, out in the open. Not a good look for rogues. Man, that's not supposed to do both at the same time. I gotta fix that. It's supposed to prioritize. I thought I had it set up so that if I hit it once, it will do... Oh, this isn't that good. One at a time. Run in one at a time. There are 5 or 6 of them out here. Man, this guy's got some crazy freaking gear. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. The difference of like having like full arena gear is astonishing. I think you'd think Blizzard would take into account, but nah. Now looking at people. Okay, he seems pretty well. Looks like we have a couple people that are well geared, and I'm better than most, but like we got a few people without any PvP gear. Are you gonna try to group up? See how much better that works when you actually have the numerical advantage. And now they're going to spread out, right? He hasn't used his bubble yet. There he goes. Same guy. Run like a bitch. What do they say? Discretion is the better part of valor. I know I'm getting jacked by a rogue, but... How did they just spread out immediately? Why? Oh, I thought I had food. Well, this will have to do. A heal? A heal in Warsong Gulch. Well, how about that? Oh, it's that guy. It's gonna drop. It's gonna drop. I wish I was better at recognizing who was in really good gear and who wasn't, who isn't. I gotta use my Blade Fury more. I never really PvP'd much as a rogue. I don't know. It seems like, I don't know. going to a place known for a certain thing and not doing a certain thing. I couldn't pull out a metaphor. Yay, stay together. Maybe we could even go get that flag. Nope. They decided they're gonna go back to mid. So, when in Rome. Oh, okay. Here we go. What are we doing? Spreading out. Oh, you can't see the mini-map. I'm like looking at it baffled. Like a starburst. And going through their graveyard is a dangerous thing. But I'm gonna get back in the game. Since everybody decided to go do something else. People just raging on each other in chat. Oh my god, guys, insert thing and complain about, you know, other thing. Oh, nice. Use his charge and then his intercept. You know, you can see me here, running away from the guy trying to help you. Not the greatest strategy. This is not the guy from before. I gotta say that deep wounds is annoying. Well, last tick. Wait, we capped? How about that? Except for just spreading out. Well, those guys are sort of staying together. Yeah, I guess this is more of a gaming stream than a meaning and psychology stream, but I figured I'd be having a lot of time standing around analyzing the behavior of people. It was a master spell on his bubble. You know, if we three roads just stuck together... Yeah, I definitely got to fix that when I get out. I don't want to be using my trinket every time I sprint. Hey, hey. Because I got the talent that removes all movement impairing effects. Okay, where are the people going? Oh, they're going down the tunnel, okay. Well, I think I'm gonna start sneaking up. Hey, there's my friend. Yeah, I got the quick blade, which is so nice, and I'm like, eh. And then I went through and got the PvP gear that you can get for being, you know, honored with a faction. I'm mostly just so that I could go solo elite quests, and it's actually really nice for doing that. It does kind of appear that they've given up. Yeah, I'm just gonna change it. One tap down for sprint, 2 taps down for trinket. Could put it on the same thing as Will of the Forsaken, but I think I'll just... That's on my right stick press. And it's a little awkward. Thinking about moving it. Oh, I didn't even comment on the intro with Kids in the Hall. That is, it so captures how someone, like, you know, people fall into roles, and sometimes people just know that they're a loser and will act out whatever it takes to make that happen. Oh, I can't believe I actually... It is weird that I had that experience with a couple different games to where... for some reason while I'm streaming, I end up getting better groups. No, I'm not going to fix that now. That's real exciting, fixing my micro, my gamepad bindings. Well, I guess the point is, like, recognizing futility, is important, and sometimes people, there's this thing, I guess you could call it the internal Mott and Bailey. And Mott and Bailey is kind of a way to describe how someone will say something and you'll be like, whoa, wait, that's kind of messed up. And like, oh, no, I didn't mean that. I meant this other thing that, you know, means something very different. You just misunderstood me. And I meant this much more mundane thing. And there's kind of like this reverse internal process to where there's the story you're telling yourself about why you're doing what you're doing, and then there's the actual reason that you're doing it. And a lot of people will just come into work, they want to be angry, and they want to, like, yell at people for being stupid, and that's why they're actually in there. You know, the everybody's an idiot but me psychology. But the story they tell themselves is, I'm just trying to run it, and all these idiots just keep screwing it up. But, you know, you look at the people that have that opinion, and they're basically all the same. And so it's a weird little collective game that they're playing with each other. Just trying to push each other down and just be angry about stuff. But there is a point where you just watch, and you're just getting dominated by a pre-made. Like, even when you group up and you have superior numbers, they still just slice right through you. And then people don't even bother grouping up, and they're just running out into a group of like 6 of them, where any 2 of them could take out any 5 of us, you know, and they're still going in over and over again. And they're like, come on, we gotta try. And it's like, what you're doing isn't trying. What you're doing is masochistic. People will do it in real life too, and it is very much like the Kids in the Hall clip I played at the beginning, to where someone, he wants to believe he is this noble person and that he is like just this badass, and reality literally keeps punching him in the face, and he refuses to learn. And in the end, the queen has to come in and, I strongly recommend that you stay down. But there's no queen to come in to tell all the people. And the worst part is, like, when you're getting farmed, when the other team could clearly cap any time they want to, because your team really can't oppose them, they'll keep from capping and then just keep farming honor off you. But it's not just about the honor. It's getting to play out the role of, like, the dominant. And people on the other side are just like, well, I guess I'm submissive isn't the right word, and victim isn't the right word. You are the redheaded stepchild. Well, it's my job to be treated like crap, so I'm gonna play my role. And this happens a lot. And I think a lot of the conflict is people get into a conflict and they're trying to decide who's going to be in that role. But based on their personality and, to some degree, what their skill or affinity with whatever the contest is over, it's pretty much already decided what's going to happen, and everybody's just kind of telling themselves stories. The mott. And you'll see this with people in all kinds of different ways. Just like, I just want to find a nice guy, so somebody who listens to me, somebody who's vulnerable. And then you meet that guy, and it's like, he just doesn't rev your motor, and you just don't have any respect for him. And then you go out and date an asshole because, well, that's exciting, and maybe he's a little bit like your dad, who is also an asshole. And I think I've told it before, but I dated someone who'd been in some bad relationships, and I just had no desire to dominate another person. And it just seemed over and over again like she was practically inviting me to be an asshole, to be a domineering asshole. And I just wasn't that interested. And, it was actually, it was one of the better relationships I've had. But it just got to a point to where I couldn't fill the role that she wanted me to fill. In other words, I didn't have any internal stuff to work out on another human being, which was kind of what she was used to receiving. And, things kind of ended. And, stayed in communication, periodically, like, hey, whatever. And then at some point, sort of tried to see, she'd made some changes in her life, and she, things seemed to have gotten better. Went up to hang out, and she'd gotten a dog. And she's just complaining about, like, the dog a lot. Like, and he doesn't listen to me, and I want this, but then I can't do that because of him. And, I let him outside, but then he won't come back in. He just keeps running past me. And, it's like, oh my God. Dogs are really sensitive to what humans want. And it's what they actually want, not what they tell themselves they want, because dogs wouldn't really be aware of that. The dogs can tell what a person actually wants. And the dog was fulfilling her need to be treated like crap by somebody. And it's just this thing we all do. And it's more overt in some contexts than others. Well, I think I'm going to make that it. I am so happy that I actually won a Warsong Gulch. That's amazing. I am the Expert Layman. This has been Grinding Meaning number 28. Warsong Gulch, Futility, and Delusional Nobility. You all have a great day.